I definitely have done loads of shit with food and hiding food. I don't think I've hidden food in order for no one else to eat it. In fact, if people ate my food, I'd be very happy. Hi all, and welcome back for another Vlogmas video. Yeah, I've been getting loads and loads of questions from you all, so I am going to answer a few questions that I received from someone on Instagram under the name of Leonor Ferraz de Andrade. That's probably very mispronounced, but that's the name, and you know, make of it what you will. Anyway, I hope these answers will be useful to you, so let's get into this video. So this person on Instagram asked me several questions, the first being about bad sleeping in recovery. This is actually something I have answered somewhat recently, so I will link to that up here and down in the description as well. Her second question concerns getting through anxiety and panic moments. I think this is especially a really good question because it's something that I've personally dealt with loads, specifically concerning Christmas. I made a video on this last week, so I will link to that as well. But more generally, I think anxiety is and always has been a really big issue for me in recovery. Sometimes, somewhat out of the blue, I'd feel like I couldn't breathe, I was getting really stressed, and all of a sudden that would just develop into a full-blown panic attack. And I say it was out of the blue, but very likely it wasn't really. It tended to just be a whole build-up of stress. So if I was chasing loads of deadlines, trying to upload loads on YouTube, trying to be involved with too many societies, and then after a while it just sort of exploded in my face and it just got too much. So I think the first point to keep in mind is prevention, because frequently I think it can be something that can be prevented. So make sure that even if you do get involved in lots of things, which I do, which I really enjoy, make sure that you have enough me time, that you get sufficient rest, that you're feeding yourself sufficiently. So what that meant for me was taking a break every day at around 3 o'clock just to get a snack, have a cup of tea, and just take maybe 10 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, just to relax and do things that were non-work related. So for me, I would pick up my book, watch some YouTube videos, clean my room, or go out for a walk. Especially going out for a walk is really good because you'll get some fresh air and get your blood circulation going and really, relax in that way. So yeah, prevention is the main thing. If you are past this point, if you are experiencing a real buildup of anxiety, because even with prevention, I do sometimes still feel quite stressed, then what works most for me is to sit down and try to write it off, to have a cup of tea, and to really focus on my breathing. So if I'm out and about and I feel suddenly really uptight, I will try to breathe really slowly, try to think of nothing, and try to find my inner peace again that way. The third question is about hiding food so no one else eats it. Although my eating disorder has made me do lots of weird things, and I definitely have done loads of shit with food and hiding food and lying about food, I don't think I've hidden food in order for no one else to eat it. In fact, if people ate my food, I'd be very happy. But yeah, about hiding food so no one else eats it, I think it's really important to be honest to yourself and to ask yourself why you're doing this and what you're trying to achieve with it. If it's something that you want to eat later and that you don't want anyone to touch, I think it's much better just to be open with the other person, to tell them, look, I've got this, I really want to eat it, I don't know, as a dessert tonight. Could you please leave it there for me? And you'll achieve the same effect, but you're just more open about it and honest about it. And I think that the other person will really appreciate that as well. The fourth question out of 10, could you talk about going to the supermarket without freaking out? That was really difficult for me at first. Sort of every time I moved to a new place, I tried to find the places with the best deals, the foods that I enjoy. And it is really difficult, so especially if you're moving out to university and you have to start doing your own grocery shopping. It is a challenge, but I think just as with any other challenge or with fear foods, etc., it's just something you're going to have to face, and over time it gets easier and easier. If there's any foods that you're particularly afraid of, but that deep down you do want to eat, I suggest you buy it. And yeah, you don't have to eat it immediately if it freaks you out, but if you have it there, you're more likely to hold yourself accountable and to challenge yourself, which is obviously the most important part in recovery. Question 5, hating exercise. Personally, I can't really talk about that much because I love exercise and it was really difficult for me to stop exercising in recovery. And I have talked about excessive exercise and exercise addiction in some videos before. But if you hate exercise, then honestly, don't do it. Like, I think exercise is supposed to be something fun, but if you don't find it fun, then don't force yourself. Obviously, you want to stay healthy. So if you're at a healthy weight, then do go out for a little walk or maybe do some stretches, etc. Just 10-15 minutes out in nature, even just sitting out in nature, can have the same positive effects on your mental health. And just little strolls and things like that should suffice if you absolutely hate exercise. Question 6, relationships and recovery. This is one I have tackled loads in my sex, intimacy and relationships in recovery video 1 and video 2. I've also done a vlog with my boyfriend, so if you have any questions about that, then check those videos out first. If you have any more specific questions on the topic, then let me know below and I'll see if I can answer them. The next question, am I recovered, is also one that I have covered multiple times. I will link to it, so I hope you check that out. 8, wearing makeup and taking care of yourself in recovery. This is one that I used to struggle with a lot because I didn't really feel like I deserved to be taken very good care of. But now I make sure that I have my little rituals, my little routines. So taking care of myself for me means taking some time off sometimes, having sufficient sleep. I used to also do some face masks once in a while, but then I realized I was allergic to basically all of them, so I stopped doing that. It might also mean taking a bath or getting a haircut, any of those things. And honestly, I realized that when I do these things, afterwards, I just feel so much better. I feel really revived. So I do think it is really important to take care of yourself and to realize that you are worth it. You are worth this self-care. Everyone is. It's really important to prevent burnout, to prevent excessive stress, and to just feel your best self. Regarding makeup, I personally don't wear makeup just because I don't know, I don't feel that comfortable wearing makeup, and I don't feel like it's worth all of my time in the morning. However, if makeup is something that makes you feel more confident, more comfortable, if it is something you're used to, or that makes you feel more one with yourself and like you're taking better care of yourself, then by all means wear makeup. There's no right or wrong answer there. Question 9 is about headaches and weird anxiety symptoms. Well, there's a variety of reasons you can be getting headaches or weird anxiety symptoms, and I talked about anxiety and panic before, so some of the same self-care habits can come in really helpful to prevent headaches and weird anxiety symptoms. However, these symptoms can also just be part of recovery, whereby your body's just trying to repair itself and throwing all these horrible symptoms in your face, but know that this is normal and that over time these symptoms will diminish as you continue to feed yourself. I'm going into more detail on this topic in the book that I'm currently writing, but yeah, it's still going to be a while before I finish that. But if you subscribe to my newsletter, I will link to that below, then you'll be the first to know when it's out. The very last question, so I finally got to the end of this, is about not knowing ourselves without the eating disorder. Who am I? This is something I personally struggled with a lot because I had an eating disorder for, I don't know, almost 10 years, and I have a twin sister, and what set me apart was the eating disorder. I was the one with the eating disorder. It made me unique. People knew me as the eating disordered girl, I'm sure. It was just something that was sadly part of my personality. However, it's not a positive distinction to have, and you need to realize that. And by realizing that, it is, I think, more easy to let go of that label and to fight your way back to health. Also, just reminding yourself of why you want to recover and why that is more important than this label can really help you get out of this mindset. As you recover, you will automatically, I think, tend to sort of go back to the things you enjoy doing and the things that make you you, and in the process, I promise you, you will learn who you really are. So try not to be afraid and try to jump into the deep end, because I promise you, it is so worth it. Anyway, this video is getting quite long. That was it for today. If you have any other questions to me, let me know below. If you see a question that someone else has posted that you really want to see as well, be sure to comment on their comment or to comment the same comment so that I know which questions are obviously most requested and that the majority of you want to see. So yeah, that's it for today. If you are part of my Patreon family, you'll know that another video is soon to be up and you already have exclusive early bird access to it. If not, I suggest you check out my Patreon, become part of my Patreon family, and I will see you very shortly.